Hi, it's Tracy. I'm just dropping in because I wanted to share with you this really interesting conversation I just had with a friend of mine who is a kinesiologist here in Sanford. And she was talking about how family constellations can shift the trauma from the tissues. So she talked about the issue is in the tissue. And there's a lot of people watching this who may think, well, I don't have trauma in my family system. I don't have anything going on back there that I would be carrying for my system at all. My life's pretty cool. But what you need to understand, and what we all need to understand, and what I've come to understand from family constellations is one, trauma is carried through our DNA. That's been scientifically proven now on my website. I've got a link to that under the family constellations page. But what's really important to understand is trauma, we all have trauma in our family system. There's no question that we do. The fact that we're here on the planet, especially living somewhere like Australia, we have all been impacted in some way generationally by colonisation. Either we are the traditional people of the lands whose people were killed and slaughtered en masse. There's a lot of work we do with people who are Jewish and the genocide that happened to the Jews. There is a lot of genocide that's happened in this world, and we're either a product of that in our lineage, that it was our ancestors that were actually killed, or our ancestors were the perpetrators. And there's no shame in that this is what family constellations is about. We don't look at what happened as something that we need to carry the shame and guilt for. Although I would suggest that somebody who has that in their ancestry may be carrying the shame and guilt, but we can hand it back to where it belongs so you don't have to carry it anymore. Or we benefited from the colonisation. So my family history is my mum came to Australia from England when she was 16. So I have that whole English colonisation in that part of my family system. But also on my father's side, I am a Malone, and the Malones came in, Jeremiah Malone came in from the potato famine via Adelaide back in the 1800s, which means if he arrived then and he was given land in some way, that my family system benefited from the genocide of the first Australians. Now that is a trauma that I carry in my family system, that in order for me to get ahead, somebody needed to die. So that's something that's really important for me to look at in my family system, to which I have done. But these are things when you think about, I wouldn't need a family constellation. What is it for? My family's fine. There are things that have happened back there that we carry in our DNA cells. Now that we're bringing into our consciousness and it's a lot more available to us to speak about what's happened to the First Nations people of all countries, these are the times that we can really get together and make a big difference in our ancestry to help settle things in the other ancestors. When I go back into my family system and I do the healing around my ancestors who benefited from the killing of our Indigenous people, that's a healing that happens for the land. So how do I work personally to move forward to make the world a better place for our first Australians and for us all living together as one? That's what I do. I actually do that work back where it belongs to allow the souls to rest back there so that I don't need to carry it moving forward. So it doesn't need to be carried forth by either party. And that's a really important thing and a beautiful thing that I've done and do for others to actually move forward. So I just wanted to make you aware of the things that you're able to do in family constellations. It doesn't have to be something obvious, but if you really want to clear up what's happened down your ancestral lines and not carry those things forward, then shoot me a DM, go to the website and book in. I'd really love to support you to heal all the things back there, not just for you to move forward, but for us as a society to move forward in a really different way. We can heal things from generations gone past using this work, and it's a really powerful tool. You can do it in person with me here in Whites Mountain, where I live, or you can actually do it via Zoom calls. It's really easy to do. We do it over Messenger or something like that. You can do it from anywhere in the world, and I'd be really happy to work with you to help you clear these things.